This is a true, scary story about a young couple who are living together and begin to experience some strange incidents in their apartment. It is supposedly a true story that happened in Russia.
A month ago, my girlfriend and I got engaged. We moved into a new apartment and began living together. It was the first time either of us had shared an apartment, so it was a new experience for both of us. We were deeply in love. I knew she was the one I wanted to spend the rest of my life with, and I thought she felt the same about me. Everything went well until 2 weeks ago, when I noticed that my girlfriend was acting very strangely. She became so attached to me that it felt like she couldn't stand being away from me for a moment. One evening, she said to me,
"Darling, when you are not at home, I still feel you near me."
I didn't attach much importance to these words. I thought she was just being affectionate. However, a few days later, she told me something else.
"Whenever you are at work,"
she said,
"I often hear your voice, as if you are calling my name."
This began to happen more and more as the days went by, and I started to get a little worried about her. One day, when I arrived home from work, I found her sitting silently at the kitchen table, staring blankly at the wall with a glass look in her eyes. I grabbed a chair, sat down beside her, and asked her what was the matter.
"I think there's something wrong with me,"
she murmured. "Why do you think that?" I asked.
"I saw you today.
She said.
You walked from the kitchen into the bedroom, and then you stood back to me, staring out the window."
"But I was at work all day," I said.
"I know,"
she replied with a sigh. That's when I really began to worry. I suspect that my girlfriend was losing her mind and starting to have hallucinations. Over the next few days, she kept telling me that she saw me in the apartment when I was at the work. She could even describe exactly what I was wearing. My girlfriend was also acting more and more strange. She was getting more and more quiet, and she was terrified of being left alone. Sometimes she would just sit there, silently staring at me. The last night my girlfriend was very tired and decided to go to bed early. I held her hand and sat on the edge of the bed as she was falling asleep. Just before she nodded off, she said,
"You are not here."
"Honey, I'm right here," I replied. "Don't worry, everything is fine."
"No, you are not here.
she said.
You are in the kitchen."
Just then, I heard a dull noise coming from the kitchen. It sounds like a chair scraping across the linoleum. Then, I heard the sound of footsteps walking down the hallway. Fear gripped my heart. I didn't know what to do. All of a sudden, the handle on the bedroom door began to turn, and the door slowly began to open. Maybe it just dropped. It just dropped, I thought as my eyes grew wide with fear. But it wasn't dropped. The door swung open and I saw a man standing there in the doorway. It was me. It It's difficult to describe exactly what I saw. It was me, but at the same time, it wasn't me. It was as if I was staring at myself in the mirror, but the other me had the cold, lifeless eyes. The other me looked at me for a moment, then turned and left, shutting the door behind me. It took me a moment to recover from the shock, and then I sprang off the bed and ran after him. The hallway was empty. I checked the kitchen, then the bedroom, but he was nowhere to be found. The other me simply vanished. It was terrifying. And then, as I stood in the hallway, trying to figure out what had just happened, trying to calm myself down and convince myself that I was just hallucination, I heard a fine voice coming from the kitchen. It wasn't my voice, it was the voice of my girlfriend.
We are here to stay forever,
she said. I realized that my girlfriend wasn't in the kitchen. She was lying in the bedroom, exactly where I had left her just seconds before. I was so freaked. I started trembling like a leaf. I ran into the bedroom, grabbed my girlfriend's, and dragged her with me out the front door. We left the apartment that very moment and spent the night in my parents' house. Tomorrow, we will go back to pick up our things. I still can't understand what happened in the apartment, but neither of us can bear to spend another night there. Hopefully, when we pick up our things, all will be well and no one will be there.